This was no ordinary strategy. It was a step that was set to determine the direction of global politics. It wasn't just about some minerals. It was about power, control, and freedom. Rare earth elements such as neodymium, dysprosium, gadolinium, and samarium have become the most valuable assets of today's era. While their names may not be common in everyday conversation, they are essential for technological devices that are crucial to both our daily lives and defense systems such as electrical vehicles, jet fighters, missiles, semiconductors, and radar systems. However, the problem is that while the mining of these rare earth minerals happens in many parts of the world, nearly 90% of their processing and refining is controlled by just one country, China. And this control has now turned into a powerful geopolitical weapon. In recent years, China has proven that it can use these minerals not just as trade tools, but also as instruments of political and strategic pressure. When the US imposed tariffs on China retaliating by imposing a ban on rare earth elements. Exports of crucial minerals like gallium, germanium, antimony, samarium, and dysprosium, which are used in high-tech military technologies and civilian electronics, were halted. This disrupted the global supply chain. India was not immune to this either. India's electric vehicle industry, which is still in its nascent stage, is fully dependent on China for these minerals. When Indian companies applied to import rare earth magnets from China, not a single application was approved. Instead, China set a condition that companies would have to purchase not just the magnets, but the entire electric motor assembly directly from Chinese company. This was not trade, it was a form of economic blackmail. But India is no longer alone. The Quad, which is a strategic group comprising India, the US, Japan, and Australia, has come together to prepare a response. This group has recently launched the Quad Critical Minerals Initiative, and its objective is clear: to free the supply chain of rare earth and other electrical minerals from dependency on China and to create an alternative that is transparent, secure, and based on partnerships. Under this initiative, the Quad countries will work together in the following areas: building reliable supply chains, recovering and reprocessing minerals from electronic waste, encouraging private sector investment in this field, developing alternative supply sources through international cooperation. India's role is crucial in this initiative. India has already launched the National Critical Minerals Mission with a budget of Rs 16,300 crore. This mission's goal is to accelerate the exploration of these minerals within the country, invest in their assets abroad, develop processing technologies, and promote recycling. Earlier, the G7 countries also announced the Critical Minerals Action Plan, in which India actively participated. Under this plan, the RISE initiative led by the World Bank was launched, where countries like Japan, Canada, Germany, and the UK collectively brought in $50 million in funding. Under the Trust initiative recently held between India and the US, both countries agreed to share mining and processing technologies for these minerals. Tom Lograsso, the director of Critical Minerals Innovation Hub, working under the US Department of Energy, visited India to discuss potential partnerships in Mumbai and Pune. The Quads initiative is not just a step towards technical independence, it is also a future security policy. Today, rare earth elements have become the weapons of a new war, one that is fought quietly without firing a single bullet through supply chains and economic policies. China has been ahead in this war for years, but now the Quad countries are gearing up to balance this situation. This battle is not just economic but also strategic, technological, and tied to national security. For developing nations like India, it is crucial not to remain just a consumer but become a key partner and producer in this supply chain. The Quads initiative is a decisive step in this direction. It shows that when democratic nations come together, they can create not just alternatives but powerful solutions. And this is the new battle of the 21st century, the silent war over rare earth minerals, in which India is now at the front lines. Recently, Iran decided to suspend its cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency primarily due to the Israeli and American airstrikes on Iran's key nuclear facilities. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian stated that Iran would not cooperate with the IAEA until the safety of its nuclear facilities and scientists is guaranteed. This decision was approved by Iran's parliament and constitutional bodies. Recently, Israel, under the Operation Rising Lion, carried out attacks on Iran's Natanz, Isfahan, and Fordo nuclear sites, causing significant damage to these facilities. Recently, the 14th Dalai Lama made it clear before his 90th birthday that his successor would be chosen only by the Gaden Phodrang Trust established by him and not through China. This announcement challenges China's claim that Dalai Lama's reincarnation will only happen with the approval of the Chinese government. India responded by stating that the selection of Dalai Lama's successor would be done according to established traditions and his wishes, with no involvement from anyone else. Central Ministers Kiran Rijiju and Rajiv Ranjan Singh are attending Dalai Lama's 90th birthday celebrations held in Dharamshala. Recently, Donald Trump introduced the One Big Beautiful Bill in the United States, which has been passed by the US Senate on July 1, 2025. This bill proposes making the tax cuts implemented in 2017 permanent. It includes provisions for eliminating federal taxes on tips and overtime wages and increasing the child tax credit. Additionally, the bill allocates $46.5 billion for border security, new detention beds for immigrants, and recruitment of ICE agents. Its passage could have a significant impact on US politics and social security. Despite passing from the US Senate, this bill is yet to be passed by the House of Representatives. So viewers, we end our today's discussion. Now, here is a question for you. Will Quad's new strategy break China's grip on rare minerals, or is the world heading towards a new economic war? Please provide your answers in the comment section.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.